Let me ask you a question. Do you think that you are going to get that thing you want, that person you want, that life you want by continuing to do the same things that you're doing now? Waking up, doing the same thing, having the same reactions, choosing the same people, choosing the same energies, surrounding yourself around the same people, around the same vibes, around the same frequencies. Do you think it makes sense to keep doing everything you're doing now and expect a different result? That is like opening the fridge for the 10th time in the past hour when nothing has changed because you have not gone grocery shopping for new things. Do you think the quality of your life, the quality of the feelings of your life, the quality of the people and the things in your life, do you think they are going to change if you don't change what you accept and what you don't accept? If you don't tighten up your boundaries? If you feel like I'm clocking you right now, like I'm calling you out, then sit down and get comfy because we have a little talk ahead of us. Welcome back to the Creation of Her, the side of the internet where we talk about all things from glow ups, mindset, feminine energy, career, consistency, etc., so that I can help you close the gap between who you are now and the person that you were always meant to be. So if that sounds like your vibe, definitely make sure to follow or subscribe. I'm on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, so that you can hear from me every single week. And as always, my socials are down below. Let's get into today's episode, which is actually a bit different because I don't have any kinds of notes in front of me. This one is straight from the heart and it's been on my heart for a little bit now. So just as a little backstory, kind of where the idea for this episode came from, I used to live in London for 2 years and I had the absolute time of my life. I met the most amazing people. Everyone around me was high vibe, high quality, and I'm still extremely close with all of these people. My lifestyle was amazing. I was constantly in luxury settings, high vibe settings, surrounded by just high vibe people. I was living my best life. Then I went to Madrid for a couple months, had more fun there, and eventually, American passport, visa, whatever, I had to come back home. Now I'm back home in Miami, which is could be another very high vibe place, whatever the case. But for me, since it's where I went to school and stuff, it's more just like coming back home type of vibes. Okay, so basically 5 days ago, I just came back from a 2-week trip in Europe. I went to Madrid, I had some fun with my friends, and then I went back to London for the first time in like 5 months since I moved out. And I kind of just got a reminder of all of the growth that I had when I was living in London, because living in London is where I kind of made my entire life transformation, my whole shift, in order for me to go from a person who was attracting very low vibe people at times or very low vibe situations, not as much income, etc. I had to put certain boundaries in place. I had to set certain standards and stick to them. And that completely 180'd my life into high income months, high situations, rooms, everything. But it took some work, some intention, and some dedication. The reason why some people might like certain lifestyle videos or travel videos, or I usually don't talk about relationships on my page or my channel, but if they like certain like relationship videos or certain treatment in relationships, why they might quote unquote aspire to have that, but they're not really doing anything like internally on a deeper level to actually acquire that kind of life or whatever it is that they're seeking. It's because they don't really know what they want. They haven't really claimed what they want. The biggest thing people tend to struggle with is knowing what they want in the first place. Do you know what you want? And I don't mean, oh, I want money, or I want to be with this person, or a person who's kind of like this, or I want like these kinds of friends, or I want to travel around to a couple countries. No. Do you know clearly what you want? Can I give you a pen and paper right now and you can give me in detail what it is that you want for your life? What is it exactly that you want for your career? What is it exactly that you want for your relationships? Who are the exact kind of friends that you want to be in your life? I want you to even know the sense you want to be waking up to. How do you want to be treated? How do you want to feel in your body? What is the exact amount of income you want to be making? What are your boundaries? What do you accept? What do you not accept? Okay, we get the gist, right? Be specific, be clear. And this is an exercise that I take my clients through, as well as people who are on my course. But a lot of times when you're struggling to figure out what it is that you do want, it's a lot easier to figure out what you don't want. If you could even make a list, or let's say you have a notebook and on one side you just brain dump all of the things that you know you don't want. You don't want friends who talk behind your back. You don't want somebody who cheats on you. You don't want to live in a place that makes you uninspired. You don't want to wake up feeling sluggish. You don't want to feel unfulfilled and purposeless. And with all of these things that you know you don't want, on the other side, you're going to reverse every single single point into the exact opposite until you start to get a gist of what it is that you therefore do want. So start with what you don't want and then convert it to the opposite. And now once you know what it is that you want, I need you to get really, really firm with stopping to entertain things that are clearly not what you want. I feel like this is very easy to talk in terms of like relationship, but also this is just an example that somebody I heard said. But let's say, for example, you are single and you want to be in a certain kind of relationship. Through what you know you want, through what you know works for you, you want to be with somebody who's emotionally mature. I mean, this is the bare minimum. When somebody comes into your path, no matter how good looking they are, no matter how charming they are, if you can see for a fact that they are emotionally immature, don't even entertain it from the jump. You're going to get yourself attached, you're going to get yourself in a pickle, and you're going to keep yourself in that same loop of attracting and entertaining people who are emotionally immature when what you say you want is somebody with emotional maturity. If you want to consistently feel good in your life, have good habits that nourish you, that keep you fulfilled, that keep you energetic, that keep you proud of yourself and proud of what you're doing, when you catch yourself doing something that doesn't feel good and you realize you have the power in that moment to stop it in its tracks, stop it in its tracks. Stop entertaining habits. Stop entertaining ways that you speak to yourself. If it's below the standards that you've already set, stop entertaining the bad habits. Stop entertaining the negative self-talk as much as you can. Nobody's perfect. Nobody never, doesn't say something bad about themselves in their heads or doesn't do, repeat old patterns or whatever the case. It happens to all of us at one point or another. But the difference is awareness and stopping it in its tracks when you realize it's happening. Because you've already made the decision that you are not going to entertain something that is below that certain standard that you set for yourself. The reason you're not getting the outcomes you want in life, the reason you're not getting the things that you desire is that you keep entertaining things that are not aligned with that future vision. You are staying in comfortable positions because it's comfortable. That is going to keep you exactly where you are. And you know what? It's going to feel a bit uncomfortable to get out of your comfort zone and say no to things that may feel comfortable but no longer align with that future vision of you and your life. You might feel a bit like an imposter. Now, this is going to be a really weird analogy, but maybe it'll click. But when I went back to London now, obviously I had lived there for 2 years, so I got really used to walking on the left side of the road because everything there is on the left side. You drive on the left side, you walk on the left side, everything is left side. And when I went back now, I caught myself walking on the right side of the road, not like the correct side of the road, the right side of the road or the sidewalk. And I was like literally bumping into people and I was like, okay, I need to keep walking on the left side. But it felt very weird because I had gotten unused to it. And I remember thinking in my head, like, well, it's not natural for me. It's not what's comfortable for me. And I can tell that like the people around me can tell that this feels abnormal for me. And then I just realized the conversation I had with myself in my head. And I was like, what am I saying? Nobody knows if I walk on the left or the right side. Nobody knows if I live here or not. And nobody even cares. And this is such a small, minuscule, irrelevant example, but it kind of translates into all of this because sometimes we think, well, it's not normal for me to say no to certain like low vibe rooms or say no to going to the club with my friends when they ask. And like people are going to know that I'm being an imposter, that I'm being stuck up and I'm saying no to the club or going out or drinking when that doesn't align with me right now. And they're going to think I'm being uptight or I'm being Hollywood or I'm being whatever you call it because I'm only choosing to entertain the more classier things or the more, higher vibe rooms or situations. Who cares? You know the position that you're trying to put yourself in. And the more you do something that is uncomfortable, that is unfamiliar, the more comfortable and familiar it will get over time. And so anyways, in visiting London again, I was reminded of the entire way that I transformed in the first place. And I was kind of reminded of any steps back I feel like I took moving back home because, old habits, old places, old faces. And I took a deep reflection on what low vibrations I may have let trickle into my life again, whether it's old habits, old types of people, and how that may have led to some steps back in some of my goals or just overall vibe that I like to feel in my life. And since then, I had to revisit, realign, redefine what it is that I truly want, all the people that I truly want to be surrounded by, all the vibes that I truly want to feel, all the rooms that I truly want to be in. And I had to make some hard cuts and some hard decisions. And maybe even I had to distance myself slightly from certain people who were not leading me in the right path, were actually leading me towards opposite ways of thinking that do not align with who I am and who I'm striving to be. And that is my whole point. It is extremely comfortable and comforting for me to come back home and keep doing the same habits that don't align, keep hanging hang out for the same amount of time with the certain kinds of people that do not align, that would be the easiest path. That would be the most comfortable path. But entertaining things that are no longer aligned with my standards would be the same reason why I'm not getting what I want, where I want to go, or with who I want to be with. Friendship-wise, familial-wise, relationship-wise, you take it however you want. And so the change I had to make was to distance myself from old patterns, old people, and overall stop entertaining things below my standards, even if that is the harder decision to make, because it's going to lead to a better outcome and a better life and more room for me to let in what it is that I truly want. You guys, I hope today's episode spoke to you in one way or another. If you think it might help someone, definitely make sure to share, spread the love. I released my course, Aligned and Alive, that took me months to curate. I teach you all in one place how to find your purpose step by step and how to live in alignment with it through your mindset, habits, and routines so that you can stay consistent and fulfilled for the rest of your life. It's currently on a monthly subscription basis, which is $49 per month, but you can easily finish the course in a month and cancel at any time. So that link is down below. And I also have my one-to-one life coaching waitlist down below in my Stan Store link, which is also available for you. That is honestly my favorite part of my job. I love my one-to-one clients. It truly lights me up and you guys see so much results. It's just if you want more personalized attention directly from me. So that's also available for you. Make sure to like if you like this video and definitely follow or subscribe from wherever you're watching or listening. And I will talk to you guys next week. Bye.